Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video, doing European Outlook for today's second video. So as always on a Thursday, we're having a look at weather for the next week, 10 days in detail for Europe, and I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just say about the first video releasing was our 7 AM upload. We've got Snow Watch, so that's Snow Watch of season, coming up for you very shortly, 10 to 14 day, and tonight we'll have your 10th Christmas update. So a busy old day at GavsWeatherVids, 5 uploads, one of the crazy sort of days that we do occasionally here at GavsWeatherVids. So keep checking back to the channel for all of the uploads. They will be coming one after another through today. Please like, share, subscribe on the video as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, let's crack on then, shall we? With the European Outlook. So this situation across Europe today, high pressure's pulled out into the Atlantic. We've got a trough of low pressure beginning to move into northern Europe. It's already better across Scandinavia, but another low from Iceland is going to start pushing down into the UK and Ireland as well. Low pressure down into the Mediterranean as well. It was quite an unsettled scene across many parts of Europe, I have to say. At the moment, upper air temperatures look like that. So much of southern, eastern, southeastern Europe still relatively warm, actually, with the upper air temperatures, especially from Italy through the Adriatic into Balkans down southeastern Europe. It is a lot colder further northwards, though. The cold air really digging in over Scandinavia now, and that cold air is trickling down into the UK and Ireland today as well. And relatively cool through France, Low Countries, Germany, etc., etc. That's how we look precipitation-wise. So lots of heavy showers and thunderstorms down into the Mediterranean, although inland parts of Spain mainly dry, but we have got wet weather across Portugal, across northern parts of Spain. But loads of heavy showers, thunderstorms through the central bowl of Med over towards Italy as well. Some of those showers extending through the Adriatic in towards the Balkans as well. Probably some snow in mountainous areas. But of course, lots of thunderstorms as well as come further southwards into this eastern part of the Med, although large parts of Greece looking mainly dry. But they get a swathe of mostly dry weather, really, through much of France, Germany, Poland, and on eastwards towards western parts of Russia, and then come back into the unsettled weather over Scandinavia and back into the UK and Ireland with showers in places, and of course, as the cold air is digging in, there's quite a bit of snow piling up across Scandinavia in particular at the moment. That's how temperatures look. So down across southern Europe, relatively mild with those temperatures in the Mediterranean Sea. The island areas into the teens Celsius at least, but going further northwards, it does get progressively colder, and much of Scandinavia now is at sub-zero, and it's pretty chilly, across most parts of Europe, actually. Temperatures down into single digits quite widely in some areas, starting to get much above freezing, and that's particularly so Scandinavia and the far north of Europe. Now, tomorrow, that area of low pressure will dive southwards through the UK and into the North Sea. So that means that much of northern and west Europe is going to be not only unsettled, but also cold as well. Cold air is sitting in over Scandinavia, and that cold air will be digging southwards as well with this area of low pressure. Generally, a very unsettled scene across many other parts of Europe as well, with low pressure well and truly in control of where there's not much high pressure around. We have got like a southerly wind that's pushing up mild air through Italy, and again into the southeastern corner through Greece, Turkey, and then northwards into parts of Ukraine, for example. Got these southerly winds moving northwards. But again, out west, northern western Europe, looking much colder. It's one of the way, but the system balances itself out. If the southeast Europe is doing one thing, the northwest will be doing something else, typically. So the southeast of Europe is relatively mild, and the northwest of Europe looking really quite cold. Again, particularly Scandinavia and down into the UK and Ireland, where we're pulling in those cold northerly winds. Precipitation-wise, we look like this, so lots of heavy showers and longer spells of rain through the eastern part of the Mediterranean, maybe more in the way of showers and thunderstorms in towards Greece. They are pushing northwards as well on those southerly winds, might turn a little bit wintry as they get further north in towards southern parts of Poland, for example. North of that, much of Scandinavia looking quite dry actually, but there will be snow around across Scandinavia, and in some areas there could be some quite significant accumulations. And then we come back into this really wet weather pushing through the North Sea, so that's going to be rain, sleet, and snow into Ireland and the UK, northern parts of France, below countries up into Denmark as well, and southern parts of Norway. Can expect some snow with that. Not only rain, sleet and snow, but also very strong winds in the northwest of Europe with severe gales around coastal areas. This is a named storm now, Storm Arwen. So temperature-wise, tomorrow, generally quite a cold scene again, particularly across northern parts of Europe. Most areas, at the very least, looking quite chilly, you would say, if not cold. Again, the exception is down across the far south of Europe, Mediterranean. It looks quite a bit milder there. Into Saturday, that area of low pressure is sat over the low country, so that will bring heavy showers, long spells of rain, sleet and snow to much of northern West Europe as we pull in these cold north and east winds. Again, across eastern Europe, we're dragging up much more of a southerly wind on the eastern side of this area of low pressure, wind is from the south, so that's where those milder upper air temperatures are extending from, coming up from Africa in towards the eastern, southeastern part of Europe. Again, out to the north and west, it looks much colder, cold air digging in again through this west part of Europe, extending southwards through France as well during the course of Saturday, and the coldest weather will be up over Scandinavia, of course. Precipitation-wise, so again, Scandinavia looks mainly dry across central northern areas, but there will be snow for those. Come further south, we'll find snow extending in from Sweden towards the Baltic Sea, and then on into northeastern Europe, Latvia, Estonia. Could be some snow pushing through there, even into the western part of Russia. Out west, we're going to have a mix of rain, sleet and snow through the UK, through France, in towards the Low Countries as well. Belgium, Holland, Netherlands could get some quite wet weather. And going further southwards, heavy showers being triggered over the Pyrenees in particular. That could give some significant snow through there. Much of Spain, though, is actually looking mostly dry. And then over on the over through the Mediterranean to the east part of Med, heavy showers and thunderstorms once again. Up the eastern side of Europe, maybe a little bit drier through there. Temperature-wise, it's relatively mild around the Black Sea, extending down in towards Greece and Turkey. And into the east part of Med, it gets much colder, though, further northwards and westwards. If anything, the cold is intensified across Scandinavia, with most areas now sub-zero, and even into the UK, Ireland and France, we're really seeing those temperatures paid back probably no better than mid-single digits. Those cold temperatures extending into Germany and into France as well. Quite a cold start to the weekend, and it goes on into Sunday with the area of low pressure then moving much more towards Germany and Poland, but still pulling in these cold northerly or northeasterly winds in its wake. So again, we see cold upper air temperatures through much of northern and west Europe. They're beginning to extend a little bit further eastwards as well, although the east and the southeast of Europe still bringing up that mild southerly wind. Notice upper air temperatures are dropping even down into the central and western part of the Mediterranean. Precipitation-wise, we've got outbreaks of rain, sleet and snow gradually extending eastwards from Germany in towards Poland. Could be some quite significant snow on Sunday across large portions of Poland, perhaps. Wintry showers, rain, sleet, snow showers follow on behind to France and below countries, probably turning a little bit drier for the UK and Ireland, and then down into, and more snow across Scandinavia, of course, down into the Mediterranean. Again, Spain looking mostly dry away from the north, along with Portugal, but getting to the central bowl of the Med, there'll be further heavy showers and thunderstorms that extend towards Italy, and outbreaks of rain, sleet, snow, comes some thunder mixed in through the Balkans and down in towards Greece as well. Temperature-wise, we're looking like that, still relatively mild in this far southeast corner, but those cold temperatures are beginning to extend eastwards. Temperatures dropping in Ukraine, for example, looking cold across Poland. So with time through this weekend, we're going to see those cold temperatures extending further and further eastwards. The coldest weather will be again across Scandinavia, though really bitterly cold there, and extending in towards Finland and starting to move southwards in towards the northeastern part of Europe as well. Right, moving through into the early part of next week, that area of low pressure and its cold wintry weather will be extending further eastwards, starting to push in towards eastern parts of Europe. At the same time, in the west, we're going to begin to bat the wind more towards the west, actually. So starting to lift the temperature up a little bit across the extreme western part of Europe early next week. Upper air temperatures are beginning to turn milder across Scotland and Ireland. Otherwise, from the UK and France eastwards, it is quite a cold scene, with those mildest southerly winds being transferred right to extreme eastern part of Europe and western, southwestern Russia. Notice the cold upper air temperatures are extending further eastwards with time early next week. So outbreaks of rain, sleet and snow pushing eastwards from Germany and Poland in towards Ukraine and towards the Black Sea. initially rain, but eventually, as those cold temperatures dig in, some of that will turn to snow. Heavy showers and thunderstorms, again, still better through the central part of the Med, particularly around Italy, Corsica, Sardinia, and then down into the southeast part of Med again, plenty of showers through there. Further northwards and westwards, not as much in way of precipitation, but there will still be some snow showers left across Scandinavia, wintry showers into Germany, and probably back into Low Countries as well. Mostly dry again for much of southern France, Spain, Portugal, and Côte d'Azur, probably not too bad. Temperature-wise, very cold across northern Europe, and these cold temperatures are extending further eastwards. The cold air is beginning to dig in to western parts of the Ukraine, for example. Black Sea still looks relatively mild, however, and it's beginning to get a little bit milder across parts of Ireland as well. And that carries on into Tuesday. So Tuesday then will start to bring in a milder or less cold, but probably milder westerly wind moving in from off the Atlantic Ocean. The cold air beginning to retreat back towards northern and northeastern Europe. Perhaps that's how the upper air temperatures look on Tuesday. So cold is across Scandinavia, down the Baltic Sea, and into these eastern parts of Europe by this point. Clearly getting milder across Western Europe, with wind coming back in from off the Atlantic Ocean. So there's going to be wet weather moving in towards the UK and Ireland. That would be primarily rain. Might be a little bit of transitional snow over high ground, but basically that's milder with rain coming in from the Atlantic. A mix of rain, sleet and snow, wintry mix through the Low Countries into Germany, and that's probably extending northwards into Denmark and the far south. But Sweden and Norway, anywhere further north of that, across Scandinavia, will just have snow, through the course of Tuesday. France, Spain, Portugal, mainly dry. Shall begin to ease perhaps a little bit through the central portion of the Mediterranean, but some very wet weather moving in towards the Black Sea. So coldest in the north and the east of Europe, in some central areas as well, becoming a little bit milder though out to west. Most of Scandinavia is well and truly sub-zero though on Tuesday. That milder weather in the west doesn't last all that long, because the low pressure then moves back into southern Scandinavia, so Denmark and southern Sweden and Norway, and that will pull cold air back into the west again. So we'll find those milder west winds beginning to extend further eastwards in some eastern parts of Europe, but becoming colder in the north and west on Wednesday. So cold weather never goes away from Scandinavia, of course. It begins to move back in towards the UK and Ireland by the middle of next week. Otherwise, it gets a little bit milder, actually, through some of these western and central parts of Europe. Down in Mediterranean, looking relatively mild with the upper air temperatures through there. So it is an unsettled scene by the middle of next week. Lots of heavy showers, longer spells of rain. They're likely to be wintry in places as well, and snow, of course, across Scandinavia, and particularly looks really quite snowy through Denmark, for example, into towards the Baltic Sea. Northern parts of Germany and Poland could have some outbreaks of sleet and snow through there. Becoming colder through either the UK, with more of a wintry mix perhaps coming back by Wednesday. I mean, down into the Med, some showers in the central bar, but many areas actually looking dry through the Mediterranean midweek. Coldest again across northern and northeastern parts of Europe, with most places sub-zero. Cold air beginning to filter back into Western Europe as well. Mildest temperatures, warmest temperatures will be through the Med. On Thursday, northerly winds return across many parts of northern and Western Europe, so it becomes colder there. Still drawing up this southerly, though, you'll notice, in the far east and southeast of Europe. So pretty mild with the upper air temperatures again through the south and southeast of Europe, including the Balkans, relatively mild through there, and like Romania, again looking pretty mild in those places. Colder out to the north and the west of Europe, with those northerly winds being drawn down on the western side of the trough of low pressure. Precipitation wise, lots of heavy showers and thunderstorms down in the Med. They'll be extending further eastwards and towards some southeastern parts of Europe. Could be mountain snow mixed in, but a lot of this will be rain as the temperatures are relatively mild. Come further north and west, so we have rain, sleet and snow. By the time we get through to the northwest Europe, and particularly Scandinavia, it's all snow by then. There's no marginality about it whatsoever, so plenty of snow to come through parts of Scandinavia, and some of that will extend down in towards Germany, maybe into the Low Countries and eastern parts of France even by Thursday. Cold with the temperatures in many areas, but mildest down in the far southeast. And I'll just run you on to day 10. So another change by the end of next week. We start to back the wind into west again across western parts of Europe, begin to get a little bit milder through France, UK and Ireland. Coldest weather by that point will be north in central, northern and eastern areas. And that carries on into the first weekend of December. Generally mildest out west, with wind coming in off the Atlantic, though much of central, northern and northeastern Europe still looking quite cold, actually. And do we have a hint there? But we're trying to get a Scandinavian high going within that cold pool of air. Possibly, but, it's not definitive by that point. That's the 5th of December, day 10. And we shall not go out any further than that. So a very interesting week coming up, it has to be said. Quite a cold week for much of northern and western Europe. Wintry potential in there. Always mildest and wettest. Well, not wettest, but always mildest down in the east and the southeast of Europe. Coldest in northern and western Europe. So a taste of winter to come. In many areas, the first taste of winter, actually, for a lot of places in the week ahead. Right, that's it for European Outlook for this week. We're going to be back in a moment, well, very shortly anyway, with Snow Watch. And then we'll have a 10 to 14 day. It'll be followed by a Christmas update tonight. Keep checking back for all of the updates. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.